Eye Contact, review by Katie Lawrence. Eye Contact deserves 4 out of 5 stars. It is a film filled with suspense from beginning to end. The scenery is quite beautiful. Ocean waves crashing on a beach, a grand lighthouse, and the natural forest. However, the director presents the setting as surreal rather than serene. There was only one character in the film, a young woman filled with determination but overcome by paranoia. The only other figure in the film was a figment of her imagination and not a real character. The young woman was a fit runner who challenges her physical limits by jogging through a secluded forest up and down the steep lighthouse stairs. Midway through her excursion at the balcony of the lighthouse, she looks and focuses on a figure down below. The filmmaker uses this foreshadowing technique to set the mood for the audience to be fearful of the unknown. The runner then heads back down the lighthouse into the woods, where this figure is felt several more times before she is finally back at her house. The filmmaker uses several film techniques to create suspense in Eye Contact. Above all, the most influential technique was the soundtrack. The music was terrifying and reminded me of the soundtrack used in Psycho. The filmmaker was masterful in his use of camera angles to emphasize the runner's paranoia. To illustrate, the handheld angle added to the fear the runner felt. The slanted angle accentuated terror, and the close-up shots heightened the suspense. A small but effective use of metonymy set the stage of suspense in the opening scenes of a fierce ocean on an overcast day. In contrast, the filmmaker was less effective in his use of literary techniques to create suspense. Although the foreshadow of the figure as first seen by the runner when she was at the top of the lighthouse set the stage of future terror, the imagery used could have been more comprehensive to instill the fear in the audience. For example, the filmmaker could have included a scene where the runner was brushed by an unknown that made her jump but turned out to be a docile animal. Overall, the film was effective in relaying its message of paranoia and anxiety. I was able to relate to the feeling that someone was watching me. The feeling was amplified by the soundtrack and repetitiveness of the runner's actions. The scene on the dirt road is most memorable as I waited for the figure to appear right behind the runner. However, the filmmaker could have added some irony to sidetrack the audience.